Hey, welcome back everyone. It is already August 30th of 2022. It's just crazy how fast time just flies by. We are approaching a lot of other Star Wars announcements that are about to be made on Disney Plus Day and D23 that are really going to be the big two events of this year, but the real deal is going to be at Star Wars Celebration of 2023 in Europe. So that's going to be pretty much the home of all of the majority of the announcements by John, George, Dave, and other creators coming on board as well. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you also very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the new Star Wars universe that a lot of Star Wars fans have been very confused about is exactly how both John and Dave are going to be able to regulate the Star Wars Legends content that's going to be made canon by Disney, and how close the accuracy is really going to be to the old Legends versus the new becoming canon. That's all up to them, and that all depends on, of course, how accurate they really want to do that. Jon Favreau has stated before in the past that he wants to make sure that Legends is going to be done in the most accurate way as possible. Now, given that since the Obi Wan Kenobi TV show debuted back in May of this year and ended not that long ago, but it left a lot of fan criticism that really did not like the show, to say the least. I mean, there was a lot of fans out there that had a lot of negative views about the series for multiple valid reasons, and there's also a handful of fans out there that believe that it was a fantastic show, and that's fine. We're all human beings, we have different opinions. I myself thought it was a heavily flawed show, but it had its good moments here and there. That's how I saw it. And a lot of this had to do with Kathleen Kennedy, because let's, not forget the fact that she had a contract with the Obi Wan Kenobi movie. Now, past this, with Kathleen Kennedy actively working on the Obi Wan Kenobi TV shows, of course, and of course everything related to that before in the past, creators Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are beginning to develop The Mandalorian Season 4 that is set to focus on characters like Din, Luke, Ahsoka, and more. However, in a recent interview with Kathleen Kennedy, she went on to state the following to the fans about the Obi Wan Kenobi TV show. She goes on to state, "It has come to my attention that the fan feedback for Obi-Wan is not what we had hoped for and expected, and this took us over at Lucasfilm by surprise. It was never our true intention to rush production for this project, but we did, and that is something that I take full responsibility for, and I do apologize for all of that." Now, before I get to the next thing that Kathleen Kennedy says here, this basically seemingly confirms that the series was indeed rushed, as we talked about before in the past. Now, you guys may recall that we talked about this, that the Kenobi series was very rushed when it came to principal photography. They finished the show in exactly 3 months, give or take. Like the main filming that involved all of the actors and the actresses like Ewan McGregor, Hayden Christensen, etc., etc. The show itself, principal photography, went like that at the snap of a finger. Way faster than The Mandalorian Season 2, even faster than the Book of Boba Fett at times. Now, obviously, her confirming this and her apologizing for rushing the series, I don't know exactly if it's genuine. I've talked about this before in the past. I mean, she has apologized several times about different projects, even for the Obi Wan Kenobi series, so it really makes you wonder, is this genuine, or is this her just really trying to save her image? I think it's more, the latter. Now, on top of that, she goes on to say, "I realize now that it is best to take time with the series, especially one as big as Obi-Wan. Something I see from fans a lot is why we didn't use the original writer's vision. Stuart Beattie is a wonderful writer, but things just didn't work out for us behind the scenes, but in the end, looking back, I think it would have been fair to at least use some of his stories to put in a show as big as his. When I gave him the call that he would no longer be involved, it really hurt him emotionally. It is something that I never really wanted to do, and I am too also sorry for that and ignoring his vision that we could have presented to the community." Now, once again, here's another prime example of Kathleen Kennedy letting go of something so fantastic. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Stuart Beattie was going to use a lot of George Lucas's ideas and visions for the Kenobi series that Kathleen Kennedy had shot down. And essentially, we were going to get a far superior final duel between both Obi-Wan and, of course, Vader. Now, Stewart even admitted that he thought that the first duel between Kenobi and Vader in the series was rather weak. Alright, so the original writer, if the original writer is saying something like that, that means a lot, and that basically, confirms a lot of the critics out there. I don't know what you guys felt about that, but the entirety of the fight just seemed very lackluster. The one good part out of it was the very climactic piece where Vader basically burns Obi-Wan. It was like karma in a sense. So, moving forward from all of that, alright, she goes on to say the following. It is something I never really wanted to do, and I am too sorry for ignoring his vision. We could have absolutely done things differently with this project that took us many years to get an idea of where it was going to go, plot-wise, and Ewan McGregor really always had a hard time lying about his involvement in the series, which was my call. When we had this as a trilogy, Stewart had an extensive vision that could have created its own universe. We could have easily focused on that one point in time for all Star Wars shows. What I don't agree with the community is the misuse of Reva. I believe we did a fantastic job with her. She's a wonderful actress that performed flawless work in this exciting Star Wars chapter, and that's what she had to say. So, obviously, everything related to the Kenobi show, there's been a lot of criticism over the character of Reva, and it was never a thing, against the actual actress personally speaking, alright? It was just that a lot of fans felt that the character was the main focus, and it was the main focus at times where it should have really been tightly focused on both Vader and Kenobi strictly as the two mains. Now, when you look at everything related to the Kenobi series, the one thing that I had a problem with was the fact that the Inquisitors were shadowed out. We're talking about the Grand Inquisitor, the fourth sister, I believe it was really left in the dark. Even, of course, the brother was left in the dark as well. So they didn't really get all the limelight that they really deserved. And they really deserved a lot more. Now, you guys may not know, but Stuart Beatty actually admitted that there were no Inquisitors in his Obi Wan Kenobi trilogy script. It was only Reva. And Reva in his script was going to be pretty much far different than how we got in the series. She was actually going to have a very dark fate by the hands of Darth Vader. She was going to have, a lot more character development. Her actions were going to be justified, more, tightened. And I think that at the end of the day, Stuart would have been a far better fit than Joby Harold at any point in time, without a doubt. Because Joby Harold even said that he had never watched Revenge of the Sith from start to finish, and the minute I heard that, that's a red flag. I don't know about you guys, but that to me is a very big red flag. For somebody, a creator that never watched Episode 3 from start to finish, really makes you wonder the authenticity of the creator. So overall, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night